All right, welcome to this example here where we're going to be taking a look at how we can use the normal distribution chart and its percentages in order to figure out what percentage of data will fit between certain levels, or how much of something would fit between certain levels based on standard deviation marks. So let's go through the example here and then we'll do a number of steps with this. When producing a certain chocolate bar, so a manufacturing process, the mean of that was found to be 23 grams with a standard deviation of 1.5 grams. Now, we want to draw a normal distribution chart showing the three standard deviations above and below the mean. I've done it already. Okay, I have my chart here where what you'll notice is I have the normal bell curve drawn out. The percentages put in there, 34, 13.5, 2.35, and 0.15 there at the ends. And then I also have those line markers, okay, or the intervals that represent the standard deviation apart from the mean. So right in the middle, you'll notice that we have the mean of 23 grams. And then from there, each one of those intervals going up, okay, is going up by 1.5. So 23, 24.5, 26, 27.5. And then the other way, if we're heading down, we're going down by 1.5 each time. So that's what we're going to use this kind of going forward with a few different questions. So the first question that we have is what percentage of the data is between 23 and 24.5 grams? Okay, so what percentage of chocolate bars are between 23 and 24.5 grams? Well, using our chart that we just have, we look at the section between 23 and 24.5 right there. And that section, okay, and I'm giving those nice interval numbers, is 34% of the data. Okay, so that's 34% of the data. Whatever it ends up being, okay, in between there is 34%, okay, because that's what we're given on this normal distribution table or chart. And we'll look at the exact numbers once we get into using a standard normals probability chart. But this is just a nice starting point for it. All right, next one here. What percentage data is between 21.5 and 26 grams? Well, now we're dealing with multiple sections. So I'm gonna highlight multiple sections there. We have 34 plus 34 plus 13.5. And when we add that all together, it will give us a total of 81.5%. So in that grouping right there, okay, you would expect 81.5% of the data to fit in between those two markings. Okay, that's one standard deviation below the mean, all the way up to two standard deviations above the mean. All right, what percentage of data is between 20 and 23 grams? Well, 20 and 23 happens to be just below the mean. Okay, it's those two sections right there. So again, we're going to add the two of them together, 34% plus 13.5%, and we get a total of 47.5%, or almost 50% of the data. Part D, what percentage of the data is greater than 27.5 grams? Well, 27.5 grams is right at the top. Sorry about that. And it's just that little bit right above. Okay, so these would be chocolate bars that would be really, really big, and it's a 1.15%. So it's just that one section there. All right. Next one here, what percentage of the data is less than 24.5 grams? Well, on here we look at 24.5 grams and we highlight everything else. There's two ways we could do this. We could add up every single section like I did to get 84%, or notice that the 23 is middle, so that's 50% below. 50 plus 34 would also give us 84%. And that might help to make things a little bit easier if we're dealing with an entire side of the graph. All right. By how many standard deviations does a score of 26 differ from the mean? Well, that's this stretch right here. So 26 grams and the mean, that is 2 standard deviations. So it's a difference of 2 standard deviations. And finally here, if all bars less than 21.5 grams are rejected because of size, so we know that 23 happens to be, 21.5 happens to be one of our nice ones there. If 2,000 chocolate bars are made, how many are rejected? Well, 16% of the bars are rejected because we're adding up those three sections. We multiply that by 2,000 and it gives us a total of 320 bars rejected for this. I hope this example has helped you. Just take a look at the chart. Notice where your standard deviation markers are, and be sure to be careful when we're adding and subtracting to get up there. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the day.